Hello, sir. This is Maryavardhan Reddy, registration number 19BCE1533. Today we're going to discuss about JPEG and MPEG compression standards. So, what is JPEG? So, we all know that JPEG stands for Joint Photographic Experts Group, and what commonly people know is what they thought is mainly JPEG is a type of digital image compression, and also it is known as a format of image. But this is completely false because JPEG is a technique of image compression and it is used for many file formats such as EPS, PDF, and even TFF files also. And a JPEG is a standardized lossy compression mechanism like for the digital images. And digital cameras compress raw photographs as JPEG images to make the file smaller in size. It is the most common file format for photo storage also. And JPEGs become popular as they save more storage space compared to older formats such as bitmap, etc. So, coming to the JPEG compression. So, JPEG uses a lossy form of compression based on the discrete cosine transform, that is known as DCT. And this mathematical operation converts each frame or field of the video source from the spatial 2D domain into the frequency domain, aka the transform domain. So a perceptual model based loosely on the human psychovisual system discards high frequency information, that is sharp transitions in intensity and color hueing. In the transform domain, the process of reducing information is called quantization. So defining in the simpler terms, quantization is a method for optimally reducing a large number of scale into a smaller one. So coming to the next thing. The compression method is usually lossy, meaning that some original image information is lost and cannot be restored, so possibly affecting the image quality. There is an optional lossless mode defined in the JPEG standard. However, this mode is not widely supported in products. So this compression mainly uses a lossy compression algorithm so that some information is removed from the image when compressing, so that cannot be restored. So, how JPEG compression works? So, JPEG is compressed into either full color or grayscale images. In the case of color images, RGB is transformed into a luminance or chrominance color space. And JPEG uses the discrete cosine transform method to compress for coding transformations. And there is also an interlaced progressive JPEG format in which the data is compressed in multiple passes of progressively higher detail. This is ideally for large images that will be displayed while downloading over a slow connection, allowing a reasonable preview after receiving only a portion of data. However, support for progressive JPEGs is not universal. When progressive JPEGs are issued by programs that do not support them, such as versions of Internet Explorer or the Windows 7, the software displays the image only after it has been completely downloaded. As we can see in the torrents, if we're downloading something, like up to some part after downloading, then only we can able to see the preview, or else not. So like that. So coming to the steps of compression. Firstly, raw image is converted to a different color model, and there which separates the color of a pixel from its brightness. So the next step is the image is divided into a small block which is having a 8 into 8 block, and that is known as called pixel. So then RGB is converted into YCBCR, and JPEG uses a YCBCR model instead of RGB. And the top and the left edge of a JPEG image must lie on an 8 into 8 pixel block boundary, but the bottom and right edge need not to do so. And after that, DCT is applied to each block of pixels and converts the image from the spatial domain to the frequency domain, which we discussed in the previous slide. And the formula for followed by the DCT method is known as, here we given in the image format as you can see. So then the result of the image is quantized. And because human eyes cannot see high frequency, so to make the low, quantization is applied. That was also we have discussed in previous slide. And after quantization, Zigzag scan is performed on this quantized 8 into 8 blocks to group the low frequency coefficients. And then the coefficient is then encoded by run, length, and Huffman coding algorithm to get the final image. So these are the steps of compression which we discussed in this slide. So here, first one depicts that RGB is converted into YCBCR, like MC with the sampling factor 1, 1, 1. And the pixel you can see 18 to 8, the 1 pixel equals to 3 components. And coming to the standard formula, here quantization is used to reduce the number of bits per sample. And coming to the third one, the zigzag matrix is used in this. As you can see, the end of product and the 18 to 8 pixel components. Now you can see there's a clear chart view for the JPEG compression and how it works. So firstly, conversion to different color model as we have discussed, and the next step is image is divided into the 18 to 8 block, and then RGB model converted into YCBC, and then applying the DCT, and then quantization process, and then apply zigzag scan, and then the final step encoding the coefficients. So this is the process of compression in JPG and how this works. Coming to the characteristics of JPEG. So the main characteristics of JPEG is that it uses the lossy compression technique so that the size of the image is less, and also works by averaging color variation and discard the information what the human eye cannot see to reduce the size of the image, and also improved way to compress a file, and that it automatically looks over the file and chooses the best way to compress it, and even chooses the best format to do that. And also JPEG has composed some separate paths that are JPEG ISO and IEC 109181. So basically this it defines the core coding technology of JPEG, like how it works, the whole core technology of JPEG, and also involves options for encoding photographic images. And the next one is JPEG ISO IEC 10918-2. So this part has several rules for testing software, and defines a set of extensions to the coding technologies of part 1, including still picture interchange file format, which is known as SPIFF. And coming to the fourth one, this is mainly focuses on the registration of files, like basically which has the JPEG extensions and also JPG extensions. Because so you know that JPEG and JPG formats are not so different. They both are equal itself. And coming to the fifth one. So this is also known as the JPEG file interchange format, which is known as JFFIF. And JPEG can work with multiple files. That is, it can working on several images at the same time. Basically, it can work on like several images at the same time. It can do that everything. So basically, these are the characteristics of JPEG. So now, advantages of JPEG. So as we know, it has a very good compression rate and the image quality, and also a very good transmission rate. And so the next one is JPEG standard is also supports 24-bit color. So the resolution in the maximum level is superb, like which is completely smooth. And they are very small in size, but according to the size, the quality is not low. So we can save our disk space while storage JPEG files without affecting the quality of the image. And they are much faster than the other image standards. And it is so good for the full color realistic images with a lot of color and contrast and resolution transitions. And it is compatible with every computer, and it is so eco-friendly and user-friendly with that. And the user can independently select the ratio quality of the image in JPEG. And there is no need of editing required to print any image. JPEG files can be printed directly from camera devices, like without editing. So these are the advantages of JPEG. So What is MPEG? MPEG is known as Moving Picture Experts Group. So, the MPEG is an alliance of working groups of ISO and IEC that set standards for media coding, including compression coding of audio, video, graphics, and mnemonic data, and transmission and file formats for various applications. Together with the JPEG group and MPEG, is organized under ISO and IEC, the coding of audio, picture, multimedia, and hypermedia information. So, MPEG formats are used in various multimedia systems. The most well-known older MPEG media formats typically use MPEG 1, MPEG 2, MPEG 4, ABC media coding, and MPEG 2 systems, transport streams, and program streams. Newer systems typically use the MPEG-based media file format and dynamic streaming, aka MPEG dash. So, this is MPEG detail. MPEG standards. MPEG 1. This initial version is known as lossy file format and is the first MPEG compression standard for audio and video. It is commonly limited to 1.5 Mbits, although the specification is capable of much higher bit rates. And it is used in video CD and can be used for low quality video on DVD video. And it was used in digital satellite cable TV services before MPEG 2 became widespread. So, and as well as uses picture rates of only 24 to 30 Hz, resulting in a moderate quality. It includes the popular MPEG 1 audio layer 3 audio compression format. And this is mainly for audio and video standards designed for digital storage media, such as an MP3 file. And coming to the MPEG 2. So, this MPEG 2 is considered important because it has been chosen as the compression scheme for over-the-air digital television, ATSC, DVB, and ISDB. So, on many TV services like Dish Network, digital cable television signals, and etc. And it is also used in Blu-ray disc, but these normally use MPEG 4, Part 10, or SMPTE VC1 for high definition content. So, moving to MPEG 4, coding of audiovisual objects. So, MPEG 4 supports intellectual property management and protection, that is IPMP, which provides the facility to use proprietary technologies to manage and protect content like digital rights management. And it also supports MPEG-J, a fully programmatic solution for creation of custom interactive multimedia applications. And also standards for the description and search of multimedia content as well. So, coming to MPEG 21. So, this MPEG 21, multimedia framework. So, MPEG describes this standard as a multimedia framework and provides for intellectual property management and protection. So, next, MPEG